Midjourney has been making waves the past few months. Some people love it, others hate it, but no matter what your opinion might be, one thing is true. The software will not stop improving. If you follow the channel, you know that with every new Midjourney release, I revisit all text prompts and test them out just to see how far the AI model has progressed. And with version 5 now out, it's time to run the prompts once more. Let's go! One of the great things with this new release is that Midjourney now properly understands sentences. Even the development team suggests to use longer, more explicit text to describe the image. Some users don't like that approach, but I personally find it way more intuitive. We no longer have to rely on typing in a gazillion different keywords and hoping Midjourney will make the proper connections. This new model is also tuned to generate more realistic scenes. And from the very first prompt, it's obvious how good this system is now. When I tried out this prompt almost 10 months ago, this is the result I got back. None of the objects are that well defined, and the style doesn't really follow the artist mentioned in the prompt. Midjourney just does its own thing. Now, not even a year later, version 5 gives drastically better results. Houses look like houses, the atmosphere is on point, and all images are extremely close to Gregory Crewdson style. Of course, it cannot be the real thing, but that's absolutely fine. For me, the whole purpose of Midjourney is brainstorming ideas in a visual way. Just as a reference, here's a sample of Gregory Crewdson's work. He's one of my favorite photographers, and I have a whole video about him, so if you find his work interesting, make sure to check the link in the description below. If you pay close attention, there are visual glitches in all of the images, like this weirdly rendered car, or architectural elements not terminating properly, but I don't really mind them. It's crazy to see the level of improvement in less than a year's time. And from the looks of it, development speed will keep getting faster and faster. Version 6 is planned to be released in the next 2 months. Even though version 5 focuses heavily on realism, it doesn't mean that other styles are neglected. I would even go as far as to say that they're now better than ever. 10 months ago, this is the type of image we could get out of Midjourney. Absolutely horrendous. Back then, Midjourney couldn't do faces, and the overall artistic sensibility wasn't really there. The system just didn't know what to do with the two elements of the prompt, the dragon and the lady part, so it just blended everything together. Let's now forward to version 5 Midjourney. When I first saw these results, I was completely blown away. We not only get amazing looking images, but also great variance in style. And most importantly, all styles are done incredibly well. All elements of the image are properly defined. The dragon looks like a dragon, and the female character has all her features in the correct place. It might sound funny now, but just a few months ago, this was a huge challenge. When I did the same test 5 months ago, Midjourney was already doing better, but the new results are on a whole other level. Midjourney 4 still had some issues with the forms, but my main issue was the lack of exploration when it came to art styles. It defaulted to a style matching fantasy and sci-fi books, so it covered a very narrow type of art. With Midjourney 5, I just can't believe my eyes. It's incredible to see how much things have progressed. Another set of images that blew my mind came from this old prompt. This one plays to the strengths of Midjourney 5. It's a realistic image meant to copy the style of a well-known photographer. Let's see William Eggleston's photo first, just so we have a reference. It's a really beautiful image. Now let's see what Midjourney version 1 came up with. It's just a jumbled mess. There are rendering errors, the style doesn't really reflect the artist, and the composition is all over the place. A few months later, Midjourney 4 did a much better job. The objects are correctly rendered, and it's obvious that the prompt is clearly understood. The main problem with these images is that they lack realism. We get a more cartoony interpretation of things. Now let's see Midjourney 5. The level of improvement is just jaw-dropping. Midjourney 5 seems to have a better understanding of the real world. It can render objects almost correctly, it understands the requirements of the prompt, and most importantly, it can render things in a realistic way. Because the results were so good, I did several iterations of the same prompt, and all of them looked great. The lighting and the overall mood is on point. It's ridiculous how good these images are. Of course, like with all previous examples, if we pay close attention, we will find issues. For example, this cup here could only be drawn by an AI. The model also doesn't know what to do with the labels of the bottles, so it just slaps Coca-Cola logos everywhere. There's also a ton of salt and paper shakers, and some of them are not even rendered correctly. We also can't escape Midjourney's tendency to use compositions where the majority of the elements are in the center of the frame, but everything else is so good that me mentioning these things feels like nitpicking. In a span of 10 months, we went from images that look like this to this. So we can probably cut the development team some slack. Tsuruyama is known for his robotic female figures. His style is so specific that the moment you see one of his pieces, you immediately know where it comes from. Midjourney version 1 had none of this context. Instead, what we got was this atrocity here. The images look nothing like Tsuruyama's figures. Version 5, though, has a lot more context. It might not hit the nail on the head, but it's in the general vicinity. And that's more than enough. The subject matter is female figures, we have a lot of metallic forms, and we mostly get the overall soft airbrushed look. You wouldn't really mistake them for a Tsuruyama piece, but that's not the point. We just want to brainstorm a few ideas. As you can see, in just a matter of months, Midjourney has managed to evolve in quite a dramatic fashion. I'm blown away by these new results, and what's even more mind-blowing is that things will only get better from here. There are glitches and elements that the AI doesn't know exactly how to portray, and composition-wise the images are a bit plain, but version 6 is just around the corner, so who knows, we might see an even bigger jump there. By the way, I've ordered the Midjourney magazine and I'm planning to cover it in a future video. So if you're interested to see what's in there, keep an eye for that video. And as a treat to those who stayed until the end, here's a few more images done with Midjourney version 5. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.